Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing my current most favorite eyeshadow palettes and like eyeshadow singles. Before I get into the video, I just want to address this area right here. I just really don't want to talk about it. But if you guys have been following me for like, I don't know, the past year or so, I broke out with some dermatitis on my top lip, literally in the same exact area, and it got really, really bad because I didn't know what it was. And so I went to the dermatologist and they told me that it was dermatitis, and they gave me like antibiotics and then a cream to put on, and that like cured it. But I had it for so long and it got really, really bad, and the dermatologist told me that it would probably pop up again just because like that's just my skin type, and of course it freaking popped up again. Actually, it started popping up in my last video that I made, the holiday makeup tutorial. You can see this one is like flaring up in the video, and immediately after I took off my makeup in that video, a second dot popped up, and then this morning the third dot popped up, and I feel like something's gonna pop up right here. This is literally the most annoying thing, especially for me because I put makeup on my face for my job, like it's my job to do that, and I can't do that when I have this flare up because makeup makes it worse. I'll keep you updated, but I'm just like really ticked off that I'm going through this again. Anyways, enough complaining. Now we're gonna be talking about my favorite eyeshadows of all time currently. My eyeshadow palettes have kind of changed over time. Like I used to love certain eyeshadows and now I don't really love them anymore because eyeshadows have improved so much over the past couple years. So I just really wanted to make this video kind of giving you guys an updated version of what my idea of like perfect eyeshadows are. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. I don't want to waste any time because I don't know how long this video is going to be. First, I am going to be talking about a lot of eyeshadow singles. So this one is Makeup Geek and this one is Anastasia Beverly Hills. These two are my favorite, no, they for sure are my top favorite eyeshadows ever. Makeup Geek probably beats Anastasia by like a hair, but these are my favorite types of eyeshadows, is the singles from these brands. So because this isn't like one palette that you can buy, you have to buy all these shadows separately, and they are kind of spendy. The Anastasia ones are a bit more spendier than the Makeup Geek. Nonetheless, they are pretty spendy, especially if you're having to buy them separately. So I'm going to be reading the names off from my right going to my left. So it's probably your left going to your right. I will put an arrow starting towards the color that I'm first starting with. So first starting with the Makeup Geek eyeshadows, this is the order that they're in. This is the first two rows. First starting with White Lies, Mirage, Creme Brulee, Beaches and Cream, Petal Pusher, Friend Zone, Vintage, Houdini, Mesmerized, Untamed, Chickadee, Cherry Cola, Curfew, and Americano. Then the last two lines are Havoc, Grandstand, Flamethrower, Dragonfly, Fashion Addict, Taboo, Shimma Shimma, Starry Eyed, Pillow Talk, Blacklight, Time Travel, Jester, and Corrupt. So I would say that these are definitely my top favorite eyeshadows ever. I do have a lot more other Makeup Geek single eyeshadows that I use sometimes, but these are my most loved and my most used eyeshadows, and I just didn't want to have to name more than this many eyeshadows in this video. Makeup Geek is just one of the best eyeshadow brands that I have ever used in my entire life. Their matte shadows are the easiest to blend out. Their foiled eyeshadows are the most pigmented, the most buttery, the most easiest to use out of any brand that I've ever used. Like you can just see from the pans, they just look extremely pigmented and high quality. Like I don't think I have one Makeup Geek single eyeshadow that I don't like. Next is the Anastasia Beverly Hills single eyeshadows, which are very comparable to the Makeup Geek eyeshadows. It's just I like the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows a little bit better than Anastasia's, but again, ABH shadows are one of the easiest I've ever worked with, and the same goes for their matte shadows. They're very, very easy to blend out, and their foiled eyeshadows are very beautiful as well. Now for the ABH swatches, starting with Blanc, Soft Gold, Touch of Lilac, Cream, Custard, Warm Taupe, Buon Fresco, Burnt Orange, Fudge, Blazing, Ash Brown, Rich Brown, Red Earth, and Birkin. Then we have Henna, Penny Metal, Macaroon, Rosette, Sangria, Violet, Night Sky, Wine, Star Cobalt, Chocolate Crumble, Rose, Metal, and Chiffon. Okay, so that was it for single eyeshadows. Now I'm gonna get into actual like palettes that you don't have to put together yourself. First, I'm gonna be talking about Modern Renaissance. This palette I think is pretty much a favorite of 99% of beauty gurus out there. It is one of Anastasia's best palettes ever and best ideas ever. It's just a really, really nice warm toned palette, and it's great for the fall time and like holiday season. I do wish that there were like one more shimmery or foiled shadows in this palette, but I love every single color that is in it. And honestly, like, I reach for this palette the most out of any other palette that I have, just because I know that it works well. I know that it's not gonna like screw up and be all patchy and stuff. I know that there was a lot of drama with the whole subculture palette thing, but I didn't try that palette out, so I'm not really sure what the whole deal was with that. But I do know that I love this palette, and a lot of other beauty gurus do as well. By the way, these palettes after the single eyeshadows that I did are not in like any particular order. I like all these palettes pretty much the same, even though Modern Renaissance is the one that I go for the most. But everything is like not in a specific order. I don't really like one more than the other, except for the single eyeshadows are my top two favorites. Anyways, the next palette is from Pretty Vulgar. This is called Early Bird. First of all, I just love the packaging. I think it's so pretty. I love Pretty Vulgar as a brand too. I think that their whole vintage theme is super clean cut and they know what they're doing, and all of their packaging is just the cutest. So this is what it looks like on the inside. It's a really, really nice pinky toned neutral palette, and I think that it is perfect for a wedding day. These are like the colors that most brides ask for on their wedding day. I used this for my wedding makeup tutorial that I did not too long ago, and I really, really liked how it turned out. And I use this palette quite a bit, like when I'm going out, or even when I'm just having like a simple girls' day out or something. This palette is pretty versatile, which is why I like it, and I just think it's super pretty. Like, the packaging itself is beautiful. Next palette I am completely in love with, and I'm so proud of the girl who created this palette with this brand. So this is the Violet Voss Nicol Concilio Pro Eyeshadow Palette. I've used it so much since I received it because it seems like, at first glance, it seems like a normal fall warm toned palette, but it's not. Like, every single foiled eyeshadow is unique, and even the matte shades are unique too. I really, really enjoy it. I think that the foiled eyeshadows are very comparable to Makeup Geek. They are so pigmented, so creamy, and she just did a really, really good job coming up with the colors and making it really different, I think. Then we've got the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. I swear this is the last Anastasia palette, by the way. I just love their eyeshadows. Like, they have the best ideas and the coolest packaging. Like, look how cool this packaging is. And it's like velvety, just like the Modern Renaissance, which I really like. So I just used this palette not too long ago in a tutorial that I just did, and I love this palette because it is so different from any other palette that I have ever seen before. I love the colors. I especially love this color, Dimension. It is the prettiest foiled eyeshadow ever, and I have yet to see any other brand, any other single eyeshadow, whatever, come out with a similar color like that. It's so pretty. It's so multi-dimensional, especially all the other colors, like Throne is another favorite, and Pyramid is so pigmented and so creamy and just really easy to work with. I'm not sure what the deal was with the whole subculture palette thing. I kind of wish that I got it just to experience it, but this palette does not have any major fallout. It does have some, like every normal high quality eyeshadow palette, but not too much to where it's like, whoa, what's happening? But yeah, I just really like this palette because it is so different from everything else, and if I want to spice things up, I just grab this, and yeah, I know that it's gonna turn out great. Okay, next is your like classic fall makeup palette. This is the Tartelette Toasted palette, and I really like this one because it has every color that I am looking for in a palette. When I want a palette, I want a cream lid color, I want a brow bone highlight, I want 1 to 2 nice transition shades, and then I want darker shades after that so that I can build up that color, and then I want a really pretty foiled lid color. This has everything that I want in a palette. I've said that so many times that I wish this palette had a brow bone highlight, or I wish this palette had a cream powder so that I could set my concealer, or I wish this palette had more transition colors. You guys have heard me say that multiple times, and I just really like this palette because it does have all that stuff, and it just seems really good for beginners who want to start experimenting with different colors and stuff, because it is somewhat neutral, but it does have those fall colors in it. Some Tarte palettes I'm not a huge fan of, but this one, and I do have another one that I'm going to be talking about, are probably my all-time favorite Tarte palettes. The next one is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. This is like a classic beginner's palette. This is the palette that I tell people to go buy if they're wanting to buy a high-end, nice quality eyeshadow palette and they want their money spent right. I tell them to go buy this because it's a nice neutral palette, but it does have some warm tones in it, and it's just really easy and simple to use. The matte shades blend out really easily, and the foiled eyeshadows are super beautiful and really easy to work with as well. Okay, the next palette, I feel like I'm gonna get some shit for this, and I don't know why. I just like have a feeling, because so many people have just stupid stuff to say all the time. But this is the Laura Lee Los Angeles Cat's Pajamas palette, and I just got this not too long ago, and I tried it out in my last couple of videos back or something like that. And again, this is a really nice fall color palette. But I just wanted to talk about this because Laura Lee did a really freaking good job formulating these eyeshadows. This is cruelty-free and all vegan, by the way, which is amazing to me because red shades like this aren't normally vegan because they have to use the ingredient carmine, and that is not considered vegan. But this palette is all vegan. She did an amazing job. The red shadows I'm super impressed with. That's why I wanted to talk about this, because the red shadows are so easy to work with, and most red matte eyeshadows are so hard to work with. They do not blend out easily, and they always tend to be blotchy, but she did a really good job formulating these eyeshadows and making them really easy to blend out. I'm looking forward to her other eyeshadow palettes that she comes out with. I hope she does some more funky stuff, because this is playing it a little bit safe, but I understand because it is her first product. So, I mean, I would probably want to play it safe too in the beginning, but I hope that she comes out with some other like quirky, funky eyeshadow palettes, because I really want to try those when they do come out. Okay, and this is the last palette. I know it doesn't seem to me like I had that many palettes, but I really narrowed them down to like only the palettes that I truly reach for and like pick up when I'm going somewhere or I'm wanting to go out for the night or whatever. So I really just kind of like condensed them. So this is the last palette, and this is the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Meadow palette. Said that really weird. And this is what it looks like. I think that Makeup Addiction Cosmetics eyeshadows are very underrated. They're not talked about very much, and I love them because they always give you huge pans of eyeshadows, and they are some of the most pigmented and easily to blend out eyeshadows I have ever used, but no one really talks about them, and I'm not sure why. Like, this gold shadow right here is the most intense eyeshadow I have ever used. It is so pigmented, so bright, so shiny, so creamy. I feel like I'm saying the same words over and over again, but it's true. Like, this is a really, really cool palette. I do wish that there was 1 or 2 more different matte shades in it, just so I can like kind of change things up a little bit. But I really enjoy this palette. I use it a lot when I'm wanting to do different types of looks, like not your average everyday makeup look. But anyways, that is all of my palettes that are my favorite and my single eyeshadows. I didn't want to put too many palettes in this video. I didn't want it to be too overwhelming. I just really wanted it to be a simple video talking about the palettes that I like the most and that I reach for the most. This is not sponsored. Please don't be one of those people that accuses me of having this as a sponsored video. These are truly palettes that I enjoy and that I reach for the most. Some of these palettes I have bought myself. Some of these palettes I received in PR, but that doesn't matter because if I hadn't received them in PR, I probably would have bought them anyways. But yes, that is pretty much it. I'm thinking about maybe making this a series. I don't know, I kind of have a lot of series going on right now that I haven't completely followed through with. Like, I still have the On the Hunt series that I haven't done in a while because I got distracted with Halloween makeup that I still want to do. But I kind of want to do like my most favorite foundation, my most favorite primer, my most favorite concealer, lipstick, stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think, and if you want to see different products with this same theme of the video, let me know down below. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped and it gave you guys some ideas. I thought it would be convenient, especially since the holiday seasons are coming around. Maybe you'll get some ideas to get a present for a friend, or show this to your boyfriend or girlfriend or fiance or husband or wife, and they can get an idea of what to give you for the holiday seasons. But yeah, anyways, love you guys, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye guys.